In Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, a woman appeared and immediately began misbehaving with the judge. The woman said, "I will not pay the fine. Do whatever you want." Judge Caprio told her that he would create a payment plan so she could pay the fine more easily. But her attitude remained very rude, and she replied, "Do whatever you want. I still won't pay." For the first time, Judge Frank Caprio, known worldwide for his kindness and compassion, became visibly angry in the courtroom. This proceeding was never published anywhere, but Caprio did mention it in his book. What happened afterward changed Judge Frank Caprio's life forever. Viewers, who could have imagined that a boy who polished shoes while attending school would one day be known as the world's nicest judge? Watching Frank Caprio's courtroom rulings, it is hard to guess how many deep scars are hidden behind his smiling, compassionate face. Frank Caprio was the chief judge of the municipal court in Providence, Rhode Island. From 1985 to 2023, he served on this post for 38 consecutive years. His fame came from a reality TV show called Caught in Providence, where traffic violation cases were brought before him for things like wrong parking, overspeeding, or breaking signals. But Judge Caprio always handled cases with humor, a smile, and often with leniency in fines. Sometimes he would let children of defendants give rulings, creating a light-hearted environment in the courtroom. Other times, he would hug defendants and share in their pain. One day, a 96-year-old man appeared before him, accused of overspeeding in a school zone. When the judge asked why he was speeding, the elderly man's eyes welled with tears. He explained that he was rushing his 63-year-old son to the hospital because his son was battling blood cancer. Without wasting a moment, Caprio dismissed the case without a fine, wishing the elderly man well. This kind approach was admired not only in America but also across the world. Judges from other countries even accepted Frank Caprio as their role model. But behind this cheerful face lay a painful story that shaped him into who he became. After his retirement in 2023, he was diagnosed with cancer. During this time, he began writing his book Compassion in the Court, which was published in 2005. The roots of his compassion can be traced to an incident involving his grandparents. They were illiterate when they migrated from Italy to Providence. His grandfather survived by selling fruits from a cart. One day, after drinking with friends and causing a disturbance, he was arrested by the police. Caprio's grandmother borrowed money from neighbors and went to court to free her husband, trying to offer money to the judge in broken English and gestures. With her was her young son, Tap, who knew a little English. The judge called Tap over and said, "Take your parents home. They are released." Hearing this, the grandmother returned home showering prayers for the judge.
That little boy, Tap, was none other than Frank Caprio's father, Antonio Caprio Jr., affectionately known as Tap. Frank says, "Even though this incident happened long before I was born, hearing this story of compassion shaped how I dealt with immigrants in my own courtroom." Frank's father, Tap, had to drop out of school after 7th grade to support the family. Their conditions were so dire that sometimes their pockets were empty, not even cotton to stuff inside, as Frank described. Frank Caprio was born on November 24, 1936. He grew up with his parents, Tap and Philomena, in a cold water flat with one room and no hot water. Sometimes to take a shower, they had to walk miles. During winter, they didn't even have blankets. The milk company his father worked for would give just one blanket, meant to cover milk so it wouldn't freeze. At night, Frank and his brother shared that same blanket. Because cream from milk stuck to it, mice would come every night to nibble it, and young Frank would be terrified. At the age of 16, Tap placed his hand on Frank's shoulder and told him, "One day you will become a lawyer. But remember, never charge the poor." At the time, Frank was in high school, juggling many part-time jobs delivering milk, distributing newspapers, setting up pins in a bowling alley, waiting tables, and even polishing shoes by the roadside. Eventually, he got admission into a local college in Providence. Among his 45 cousins, he was only the second to make it to college. Later, he dreamed of attending Boston Law University, but knowing his parents could not afford it, He instead worked as a teacher during the day and studied law at night in another university. During this period, a painful moment occurred. One evening, a classmate gave Frank a lift home. Seeing the shabby building where Frank lived, the classmate said, "If you want to be a successful lawyer, you cannot live in such a house." Frank simply thanked him and walked away, but the remark scarred him for life. After becoming a lawyer, Frank entered politics and even ran for attorney general. But his rivals falsely accused him of ties to organized crime, forcing him to step back and return to private practice. One day, while having lunch, Frank received a call from the mayor of Providence. The mayor told him that one of the 3 municipal judge positions had become vacant and said, "I think you're perfect for this role." Frank had never felt such joy in his life. His parents were also proud beyond words. Frank had once been a wrestling champion, and his father Tap never missed a match. Similarly, on Frank's first day as judge, Tap was in the courtroom to witness the proceedings. The first case involved a woman with multiple $100 parking tickets. She immediately spoke rudely to Judge Caprio, saying, "I won't pay. I have kids to take care of." Judge Caprio placed her on a payment plan, but she arrogantly replied, "Do whatever you want. I still won't pay."
On his very first day, Judge Caprio lost his temper and had her car booted until the fine was paid. After the session, his father Tap scolded him harshly, asking, "Now how will that woman take her kids to school or buy groceries?" That day became the turning point of Frank Caprio's life. He decided that before making any ruling, he would always consider how it would impact a defendant's family. Frank later said, "That scolding from my father taught me what I could never learn in 5 years of law school." Afterward, Judge Caprio established a donation fund named after his mother, the Philomena Fund, to help those unable to pay their fines. His fame skyrocketed when his brother Joe, an avid videographer, suggested recording court proceedings. At first, Frank opposed it, but Joe convinced him. The show was named Caught in Providence. Initially airing only on local cable TV, it gained worldwide popularity when clips were uploaded to the internet. Through this, Frank Caprio became known globally as the Nicest Judge. After 38 years of service, he retired in January 2023. A few months later, he revealed he was battling cancer. On August 20, 2025, a video from his hospital bed showed him asking fans for prayers. The next day, August 21, 2025, Judge Frank Caprio passed away. He left behind courtroom memories that teach us lessons of compassion, kindness, justice, and the importance of controlling anger. We hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like and share it. Thank you for your kind comments. See you in the next amazing video.